Okay, just because I know
Yeah.
cold calling is such a stigma too, I want to hear like how simple is it, Dane?
Oh,
Break
it's
it,
so
break the glass for people on this. What's
yep.
your conversation like? How'd you find the list for these Minnesota ones, and what was the conversation like when you're calling? And how much
Yeah.
rejection did you have to fight through?
Yeah. So it's usually something like this where, you find a phone number, you call it. It's usually the manager that calls, but the best parks to buy are the ones that are a mom and pop that have owned it. They started the park 40 years ago. They still live in it and manage it. So you can kind of
Hmm.
tell when they answer it's an old couple or something like that. So the conversation is literally like, "Hey, Kyle, my name's Dane. Hope I caught you with a minute to spare." But the reason I was calling is I'm new to the mobile home park space, but I was actually wondering if there was a small chance that your park might be for sale sometime now or in the next couple of years. That's it.
Oh yeah. Well, we were kind of talking about that. Maybe
Yeah.
not now, but then you get people if you're presenting it like that, Dane,
Yeah.
and then some people say nope, not for sale, and you go on to the next one. You know.
Yeah. And then I say, "Hey, that's totally cool. Hey, Kyle, I know it's not for sale right now. Would you mind if I put down on my calendar to call you in like a year or two? Would that be okay?" They usually say, "Yeah, sure." Right?
Yep.
But some of
Yep.
those calls are 10 seconds. But a lot of them where
Dude.
I say, would you maybe be considering selling sometime now or in the next couple of years? It's pretty easy for somebody to say, I mean, we've discussed it. Oh, hey, that's great. Kyle, I don't know, I might be putting you on the spot. Have you guys discussed like a price or what it would look like for you guys to feel comfortable selling? And then a lot of times they're like, well, I don't know. And well, Kyle, I could shoot you something real fast. I know we're just talking now, but if you don't mind me asking, how many tenants and then I just get some info on the park right there.
Yep. Yep. Man, it's just that simple, man, and it's so cool. I've read the articles of industries or sectors that were like this. They were mom and pop dominated, and they
Mm.
moved towards more commercialization.
Yep.
Hotels, storage
Yep.
facilities are kind of going that way. Then there's mobile home parks. These are not. There's not one big company that owns all the mobile home parks in the country. It's
Nope.
still this
They're
style conversation.
they're snapping them up, but they're
Yep.
still available. When I got the two that we own now, I purchased from the same family. And so
Oh,
the way I
gotcha.
found the first one, I was going to the chiropractor in the Twin Cities and I saw a sign for a mobile home park tucked away in the city behind the mobile home park or behind the chiropractor. I'm like, how have I missed that sign? So I drove in there, found the number. I looked for the manager, couldn't find him, called. The number was to a property management company. So it was kind of a little bit of what would be normally a dead end. Some guy answered. I talked him up for a couple of minutes and I said, "Well, look, hey, I was hoping to reach the owner. I'm trying to see if there's any park for sale." And he goes, "Oh God," he's like, "We manage like 30 of these things." I was like, "Well, 30, somebody's got to be thinking about selling, right?" And he goes, "Actually, call this family. I think they might be getting close." And I said, "Great. Would you mind giving me the number?" And he said, "Yeah." And then it ended up. I called them. They said, "Yeah, we just started talking about it." And I was able to buy it off market, right? And then
Man,
same deal. I said they own more parks. I said, "Do you mind if I just keep calling you every so often, checking in?" And he said, "Sure." I reached back out and he said, "We're ready to sell this other one." And I would say it also mattered. Like I feel like when you go through the negotiation process, there's certain people that want to nickel and dime
yep.
and lock it in at this rate and then renegotiate. We don't do that. And so they had a good experience selling to us in the first round. So I think they felt comfortable round two with us as well. And we had a
Hmm.
great interaction there in hopes for us to be able to acquire it in the future for them.
I love it, man. Such great advice. I hope people are tuning in and the ears are perking on this.